Why does it seem like God leaves us when we need him most? That's a hard question to answer, but it's also felt a lot. And I get this question asked to me a lot. And I just want you to understand that you're not wrong for feeling the way that you feel because you're a human being. By you being a human being, you have emotions. So you can't be wrong about everything. Okay? Especially when you know that you pray. You know what you see, right? Like if you live in this life, you see a lot of wrongdoing, right? You see a lot of evil every day. And you just not saying that you're the best person in the world, but you often compare yourself, even though you're not even though it's like it's hidden, but you kind of compare yourself because you're like I can't be this bad of a person. I'm trying my best. I love genuinely. I'm just trying to help people. I'm trying to grow. But you keep finding yourself in these struggles. Like everything just seems like it's directly pointed at you. And the more you pray, the worse it gets. And then you have people that, the people that go to church every Sunday, or their life ain't really going through anything. They really, it's easy for them to say, oh, everything will be okay. God loves you. And, you just stick through it and everything will be okay. Well, that's easy for somebody to say when their bills are paid, they're not sick, their family is great, all of the things is working in their favor. Of course, right? They're going to feel like that. But then you got people out here who lost their parents at 3, and then they see other people with their parents at 45, and they trying to find out, dang, then my adopted parents didn't like me either. What did I do so wrong? My real parents died at birth at 3, and then I got adopted by some people that didn't care about me, and then I got molested and nobody was there to help me. All of these things start happening. How can you not have questions? That is a human feeling. And sometimes people need to shut up and be quiet and listen, opposed to talking so much, because everybody is in a different boat. And that's what I keep trying to bring to people's attention. Everybody's in a different boat. So sometimes people do feel like the Most High has left them stuck in this evil world, because all the evil you see more evil than you see good, right? When you watch the news, it's always murder. When you watch the ID channel, it's always murder. When you watch, it's always something going on. Children being molested, women being raped or murdered, or it's always something. And you looking and you sit and you look in the mirror and say, I have no ill will towards anybody. I just want to help, right? I just want to help. So now, but every time I try to help, something goes wrong. Like people die, tire flat, and I only got $3 left. Car breaks down, can't afford the rent, not enough food, gas prices go up, more money goes down, right? And people say, well, it's happening to everybody. Yeah, but for some people, things feel more targeted towards them, especially when it's been all their life as far as they are concerned, because they've been living their life all their life. You haven't. And that's where there's this disconnect in the conversation, because you sit there and you keep on trying to convince people to just wait, and they feeling like, I've waited 28 years, 40 years, 30 years, 50 years, 70 years. You understand what I'm saying? People get tired of the same song, right? And it's very hard for me to be fake and tell somebody that their feelings are wrong. Only thing I can tell you is to stay strong. right? Just keep going because that's your only choice. That's I ain't gonna say it's your only choice, but that's the only choice that makes sense, right? Is to keep going and find another reason to continue, because I know Satan comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but man, sometimes you can feel like he's winning because you don't see no light at the end of the tunnel. You just see, is it the end of the road? You know what I'm saying? Because I've had a friend of mine. They came to me and they said, like, Greg, I've literally I've done everything. I prayed. I've helped everybody that I could help when I was able to help, and then every time I look up, something is wrong with me, right? Or either I'm sick, or I'm losing something, or I'm getting kicked out of a house because I lost a job, and not because I didn't show up on time, just because they didn't need me anymore, things like that. And they got 3 children, you know, and to not be able to provide for your children, like, it just made them feel like they were lacking on every level, which brings depression and internal pain, and then frustration with God, because once again, you don't know what people do behind closed doors, just like you don't know what pastors do and stuff. Like, y'all could sit there all day and be like, oh, pastor, he this, he that, and then you find out he got 3 side women, he got babies out here, or he's sleeping with men, and he got a wife. All of these things. You don't know what people are doing behind closed doors, so you also don't know how people are praying and what they praying for. You understand what I'm saying? And what they've been through. And I mean, I've heard some horrific stories that I really can't what's the word I'm looking for? I can't respect them enough for continuing, because a lot of people, from some of the stories that I've heard, a lot of people would have committed suicide. You know what I'm saying? Because when you just feel helpless, and you feel like nothing ever gets answered, when you pray. So then you start feeling like you're praying to a brick wall. And if you start feeling like you're praying to a brick wall, you're going to start acting as such. And then you're going to start losing faith. And then that's when Satan steps in even more. Next thing you know, you're on the other side of the street, right? It's not wrong to have your genuine feelings, because your genuine feelings is how you feel based off of how you've been treated throughout this life. I can sit here all day. So I can sit up here and be a millionaire and tell everybody, just wait, you'll get there one day, God gonna bless you. But that's just a random word that it's just a broad statement that everybody say. It's a feel-good sentence. But for the person that's actually going through something, they don't want to hear that. That's fake to them. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't be on your high horses when somebody feels like God has left them. You can encourage them, try your best, but you can't tell them not to feel that pain that they feeling. You understand what I'm saying? Encouraging words, yes. Always be encouraged. Always try to encourage. But don't always connect your life to their life like, oh, well, like with me. It ain't like with you. It's like with them. They the ones in pain. You the one, you're not going through it like that right now. And there's a lot of times the people that are saying it's going to be okay, if they was going through it, they might handle it worse than the person that's going through it is currently handling. So it's hypocritical. So I try to stay very very, very cautious on how I speak to people that's going through these type of pains, because if you keep if you keep trying to sound like you got all the answers, I mean, you being fake to yourself, because you don't have all the answers. And I don't care how much I know and how much I've learned, I still don't have all the answers, and I ain't gonna never have all the answers, because I ain't create not one of us and not myself either. You understand what I'm saying? So it's always gonna be a hard thing. It's always gonna be a hard thing. But I do want you to understand that I feel your pain. I feel your pain, and, because that's a hard pill to swallow, right? Because you got to believe in the Most High, who you have not seen, right? And then you got to live this life that you see, and it's not going your way. And then if you get on your knees and pray, and then don't nothing change in 10 years, well, how are you supposed to feel? You understand what I'm saying? So it's a real question, and I'm speaking for the broken people. I'm speaking for the broken people, because I'm not speaking to the people on their high horses that feel like they know God so well. And I talked to God last night. You know what he told me? I'm tired of people doing that. That is so fake. First of all, demons are gods. God is God. Angels are gods. Like, stop all of this stuff. Like, I don't want to keep hearing that, right? Because you just want to sound like you have a relationship with God that other people don't have. That is fake, and it's unfair. Because then you know what it also does? What if the person that you saying this stuff to believes that? Now they believe, oh, God talked to them, but he won't talk to me. Another reason for the person to feel like they less. Because you want to feel like you more. So in order for you to feel like you more, you got to say God talked to you. Why this person don't believe that God hears them at all. Be careful how you speak, and be careful not to be on your high horses, right? Because life is not about you, right? And so even to the person that's watching this video, if you're watching this video right now, it ain't by chance, but even to you, it's like, it's not that, it's not about just you. But a lot of people ask this question. That's a valid question. I didn't ask to be here, and I'm in pain here. And why do I have to go to hell if I don't agree with the way that my life is and the way that my life is set up? I don't understand it. I'm a giver. I try my best. I love genuinely. I'm just trying to be the best person I can be. And the more I try to be better and better, the more pain comes my way. The more evil comes my way. The more frustration comes my way. The more I pray, the worse it gets. Right? This is not like you can, like, it's so many people that feel like this. The question is why? You understand what I'm saying? So you cannot just dismiss people's feelings just because your life ain't going bad. You can't do that. All right? Some people feel like God left them. Right? I don't believe that the Most High left anybody. But at the same time, I can't tell somebody not to feel that way when they're going through a certain thing. Right? Just keep moving forward. Keep finding a reason not to quit. Keep praying, but stop listening to so many people, right? Your human feelings, your real feelings, that's your real feelings. And nobody can tell you that they wrong, because they not in your shoes, they ain't in your shirt, they ain't in your hat, they ain't in your house. If they are in your house, you know what I'm saying? Like, they not you. Okay, so you have that right, and just keep your head up. Keep your head up. And this is just a real message. Okay, I'm not here to sound like a pastor or sound like Martin Luther King or anything like that. I'm really just saying, keep your head up, keep staying strong, and hopefully you got something from this message, because I didn't write any of this down. I don't write anything down. I just say how I'm feeling from my heart. Okay, so if you feel what I'm saying, you know, subscribe to the channel. The Real Conversation with Greg James. This is what I talk about. I talk about the real things in life that people don't like to talk about, right? And it's only fair to be fair. So I'll see you guys in the next video. The Real Conversation with Greg James. Peace.